So if you haven't noticed yet, we're in the forest.
Yep.
We are now on the west side of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, whereas just in the last video, we were on the east side in Death Valley. And what a stark contrast it is. We're only like 1 day's drive away from just where we were in the last video. And it's just an incredible change in scenery that we witnessed on that drive from Death Valley to here in the Sierra Nevada mountain range.
Yes, it is a stark difference. It's so green here compared to, you know, desolate and barren in the desert, and we love it here.
Yeah, we really do.
And the temperature here too is really nice. It's very mild and it gets just cold enough at night that it's super comfortable to sleep in. We don't have to turn the furnace on, whereas in the desert we had to sleep with the windows open all the time.
Yeah, there's like that crisp coolness to the air as night falls, and it's slightly humid, and honestly that is my favorite type of weather. We've been in desert for over 6 months straight. We got into Carlsbad, New Mexico in November, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since we've been in the forest, and this kind of scenery is more like what we're used to from where we live. Yeah, from where we used to live in the Midwest. Yeah. I mean, sure, there weren't mountains, but there was grass, forest, soil.
Water, running water nearby. And yeah, it's beautiful. And the smells here bring nostalgia back to us. Yeah. And it just makes us feel at peace because it's what we're used to, I guess.
Maybe. That might be true. We're definitely more, you know, we definitely lean more towards the forest.
Yes.
The desert is beautiful in its own way, and we definitely enjoyed our time in the desert, but now that we're back in the forest, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to describe the emotion.
Yeah.
We just feel more connected to it, I think.
With that said though, there are some things that as RVers we need to be aware of when staying in a forest, and one of those is humidity. In the forest, the humidity is just a little bit higher than in the desert, and as many of you fellow RVers know, that is not something you want in your RV. You want to make sure that your humidity in the RV is nice and low. If it's not, black mold can grow under carpet, it can grow in the cabinets, and all of that can make you sick and really damage your RV. Whereas in the desert, you just leave your windows open and the humidity essentially takes care of itself. Another difference between the forest and the desert is the wind. In the desert, it's really open and flat, and the wind comes in and just blows things all around. It doesn't have anything that can stop it. As a matter of fact, when we stayed near the Anza Borrego Desert State Park at Rock House Campground, we actually had to put our solar panels down because wind gusts of over 70 miles an hour were in the area. However, here in the mountains in the forest, the mountains and the trees all block the wind really well, and we've been able to leave our awning out even almost 100% of the time without any worries. For us, the constant nonstop wind in the desert got really old really fast. We had very few days where there was no wind, and here in the mountains it is amazing. We have no strong wind gusts. It's been really nice. When the wind does blow, it's nice and pleasant and calm. And after 6 months of constant wind gusts in the desert, it is really nice.
And something that we need to be very aware of now that we're in the forest as opposed to in the desert is bears and mountain lions. While we were in the desert, we would store our trash and our excess pet food in the bed of the truck because, you know, maybe some coyotes might come sniffing around, and that's not a really big deal. But now that we're in the forest, if a bear comes around, that's a big deal because the saying goes, if a crowbar can open it, then a bear can open it. So if we've got trash or, you know, anything that the bear thinks is food that it can smell in the bed of our truck, then it's basically just gonna break the glass door of our truck camper right off and get at anything in there that it wants to. So now that we're in the forest, what we do is once our trash fills up, we immediately take it into town and throw it away. It means more trips, but if it saves us from a potential bear encounter, we think that's pretty worth it. And no matter where we are, desert or forest, we always take our bear spray with us when we go on walks or jogs because bear spray is an excellent deterrent not only for bears, but for mountain lions as well. And another subtle but big difference between the desert and the forest is just the sounds. In the desert, we really could only hear just the sound of the wind and maybe the occasional coyote, howl at night and a crow flying by during the day. But other than that, dead silence. But here in the forest, you've just got birds constantly chirping. You've got the sound of flowing water and the sound of the wind through the trees. There's just a lot more constant noise than in the desert that Jenny and I both very much enjoy. Some people may prefer the utter silence of desert wilderness, but Jenny and I prefer the sounds of nature that you hear when staying in the forest. But today we're exploring Fresno Dome. It is a popular attraction here in the Sierra National Forest, and although it's dog friendly, we can't take Sweetie with us today. She hurt her paw pads playing fetch with me a couple days ago on this concrete surface that our RV is on, and although we really want to take her, we don't want that wound to get dirty and possibly get infected.
Yeah, this isn't the first time she has hurt herself playing on a concrete surface, and to be honest, we need to be a little better at playing with her in the grass or something along those lines, because she plays like a reckless puppy and we don't know that she's hurt herself until we're done playing. She shows no signs until we're completely done, and then she starts limping slightly. Yeah,
she just plays with reckless abandon and just goes all out, and it's on us though. We really need to, and me especially, because I'm typically the one that's playing fetch with her or wrestling with her, and I just need to make sure that when I'm playing with her and she's running around and jumping and stuff, that it's on a soft surface like grass, soil, soft sand, something like that, not concrete, not asphalt.
Yeah.
Because her paw pads just get abraded. You know, it gets like a road rash on it, and they start bleeding, and we've got to bandage them up, and we have to make her take it easy until it heals up.
Yeah, and for us, that really hurts us as pet owners, because we don't want her to be in pain, and so we're kind of wanting your help and suggestions. We have tried Velcro booties that we used to have when we lived in our house, and it would be snowing and, you know, sleeting and just really cold to protect her paw pads when we went on walks, and no matter how tight we would Velcro those, she would kick them off no problem at all. Yep. And we're wondering, have any of you ever had this kind of problem before? If you have, what did you do? Are there other booties out there you think we could try? I mean, we want to still be able to play with her, but it's getting to the point where
we need a solution.
We do. We really do. And this isn't something we can continue to let happen.
So let us know if you have a product or something, some sort of solution for us.
Yeah. At Fresno Dome, it's actually a lot colder there than it is here. The high today is in the low 70s, and there the high is 41.
It's a lot higher elevation.
So we have whipped out our coats and our hats and our gloves, and I have 2 pairs of pants on.
Gonna be nice and bundled up.
Yes, it's gonna be cold, so we're going to be a lot colder there than here, and we're going to have an awesome view at the end too. And it's a relatively easy hike. I think it's only 1.5 miles total.
In and out.
In and out.
So like 3/4 mile to the top of Fresno Dome, and then 3/4 mile back to the truck.
And it's not rated as super strenuous, so it should be a great hike.
Yep, let's go.
All right.
We got some bad news. On the way up to Fresno Dome, we encountered a lot of snow. We're like 8,000 some feet. We're pushing 8,000, and as we were climbing, it was just climb. And as we were winding through the mountains, we started to see a little bit of snow. And then as we continued to climb, more snow and more snow until it was just all over the side of the roads, and then until finally it covered the road.
Yeah.
And we're just not comfortable plowing through the snow, especially when we have 11 miles left to go.
Yeah.
And it's continue to climb in elevation, so it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse. And we're no strangers to driving in snow. Don't get us wrong. It snows a lot in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It really does. We're no strangers to it. The only problem is we have never driven on roads in the snow when it's snowing in the mountains on windy roads.
Yeah.
We don't have chains, and
we don't have snow tires.
We don't have snow tires, and we don't have 4-wheel drive. If we had 4-wheel drive snow tires and chains, then maybe we would try and go on this road. But we can already tell that people have parked nearby and taken snowmobiles in and not driven actual vehicles on this road.
Yeah, we see a ton of snowmobile tracks leading in. We don't see a single set of tire or of vehicle tracks.
Yeah, not at all. So we know that others aren't willing to drive on this, so I don't think that it's safe that we do either. And plus we have no signal out here.
Yeah, so if we do get stuck, there's no help coming.
But we are absolutely surrounded by beauty here. We love it. I know that there's snow on the ground and, you know, bah humbug, we hate the snow, but but to be completely honest, we actually don't hate the snow. We really do enjoy the beauty that the snow brings to an area. And we did bring the drone, and we are in a national forest, meaning we can put it up, and we are going to try our best to show you guys what else this area looks like.
Yeah, we couldn't actually go to Fresno Dome, so we're gonna see if we can find it with the drone so that we can at least show you guys that.
We're not leaving here without having something to do though, and we did have a backup plan because we knew there was a possibility of these roads being snowed out, and we're going to head back, I believe 8 miles back to Bass Lake, but there's an interpretive trail there for the indigenous people of this area called the Mono Interpretive Trail. It is an educational trail, and I think we're gonna go and check that out. It's lower in elevation and there's no snow, so we know we can go do that trail. We drove past it to get here, so we're gonna go back and do that.
Yeah, but we're not done checking this area out. As soon as I stepped out of the truck, I was just like, wow, this, I haven't been in a forest like this in a while, like just a very dense, high elevation pine forest. It's incredibly beautiful. I'm like energized by how beautiful it is here, and just the smell is so fresh, so crisp. It smells very strongly of pine tree. Gee, I wonder why, but it's incredible. I love it, and I'm so upset that we weren't able to go on a hike through this, but it's still cool just to have come up here and get a taste of this, because we're gonna be in more of this in the future. We made it to the end of the Way of the Mono Trail. It's a really short trail. It's only a half mile in and out, so a half mile total. And it's really easy. The trail is well paved. There's some inclines here and there, but it's mostly really easy.
Yeah.
And it just highlights the Mono people that were native to this region, before Westerners came and developed all of it. And it has information panels along the way that explain essentially various plants that were important to the Mono people and how they used them. And what's really cool is here at the end of the trail, there's this huge granite rock, and the final information panel says that the women of the Mono people would sit up here and they would grind acorns and other seeds into flour. And it's really cool because you can see all these smooth divots. They're just all over the place. And I can just imagine all these women just sitting up here on a beautiful day, enjoying this awesome view and, just doing their work. It's really cool.
It's very cool. It really helps us see the past. And it's very interesting.
Incredibly interesting.
We love going on trails like this where not only do we learn about the different trees and the different plants and how they use them, but being able to see a little glimpse of the past on the trail too is just amazing.
Yeah, it is really cool. Like, they actually used these divots. People actually sat here.
Yeah.
Hundreds, maybe
about,
thousands of years ago.
Yeah,
and we're using them and grinding on these divots. It's really cool.
It's really cool. We highly recommend this trail. It was not hard. It is rated as moderate, but
it was easy.
It was very
Cake.
easy, yeah.
But we're really glad that we had a backup plan today, because it would have really stunk driving an hour and a half from the RV for nothing.
Yeah, all the way into a snow-covered road that was not able to be passed without a snowmobile, and then turning around and going back to the RV. That would have been super lame.
That would have stunk, yeah. But this trail wasn't very far from Fresno Dome, so I'm just glad we had a backup plan. Good job, Jenny.
And it was on the way back.
This one right here.
Well, I saw one person say a month ago that the roads were snowy and that they couldn't make it, even with four-wheel drive and their chains. So I was just like, okay, so just in case the snow is still there, because it's been cold enough here that some of the mountains have had slight snow dusting even near the RV. So we knew that there's a possibility there might still be snow, so I just made sure we had a backup plan just in case, but I'm glad that I did.
We're gonna head back to the RV now though, because it's getting late, we're hungry, and it's getting cold.
It is.
We're back at the RV for the night, and Sweetie's pretty happy that we're back. It's a shame she couldn't go with us, because she would have really enjoyed that trail we went on. It was short, but she would have loved it. But we gotta let that paw heal up, right?
Yeah, definitely do. And if any of you have any suggestions, please remember to leave your suggestions below. We definitely know we're going to make her play in the grass more often, because this is something that just happens too often now. And we would really like to get her some sort of booties that would stay on, and just kind of need your suggestions. If you know of anything, just let us know.
And also, we figured something else that's different now that we're not in the desert anymore, and that is snow. We didn't have to deal with snow for 6 months now, through all of winter.
Yeah.
And as soon as we're out of the desert, snow.
Yeah.
And it's because we're in higher elevation, and it is still mid-April right now. So, that's gonna happen. But it's just like, we haven't had to deal with any snow, and as soon as we leave the desert, boom, snow.
Definitely. It's something that's kind of annoying, but also beautiful.
Incredibly beautiful. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool to see snow again, finally.
Just don't want to tow our RV there, right?
Oh, God, no. No, if it's snowing, RV is not going.
Nope.
That rhymes. If it's snowing, RV ain't going.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know. I just came up with that.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more videos from us, be sure to subscribe. And if you want more details on what we did today, be sure to check out the link to the blog post in the description below. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.